Please note that the following views and the opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily the views nor the opinions of the Master Force Group, YouTube.com is a private society, and nothing here is ever to be construed as hate, medical, nor legal advice. And listen to the Forbidden History prime time 7 days a week right here on the RealPublicRadio.net, because hidden beneath the sands of time lies the greatest of all mysteries. It's the Forbidden History. Unearth for yourself the secret truths that lie hidden just beneath the surface below our feet. What is it that the powers that be do not want you or I to know? Come and journey with us as we explore and dare to know, because it's all right here, coming your way, 7 days a week on the RealPublicRadio.net, Free America Radio Network. Somewhere out there, it's what they didn't want you to know that we tell right here. Stand by for the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, and still time to call your friends. We'll be right back.
The missing dimension in world politics is the spiritual dimension. The problems of life cannot be solved by material means. Modern civilization is missing the point of life. Human life is meant for understanding spiritual values. Real knowledge is knowing yourself, what you are, what God is, and understanding your relationship and duty to God. It is our duty to understand God, abide by His laws, and learn to love Him. Then all of our problems will be solved. When men are not governed by God, they will be ruled by tyrants. The material world is just like a prison. In a material body which is imprisoned in the material world. We do not belong in this material world. We are spirit souls and belong to the spiritual world. Modern civilization is wrongly directed to the fulfillment of sense gratification, the basis of material life and a barrier to spiritual realization. The demonic believe that the enjoyment of the senses is the ultimate goal of life. However, it is not possible to become peaceful and happy in the attempt to gratify the temporary senses. The result is usually the opposite. A materialistic culture based on sense gratification agitates the mind and senses. Unless one controls the mind and senses, one cannot make any spiritual advancement. The great sages of all bona fide religions were completely free of material attachments because they knew that spirit is permanent while matter is temporary. Our present culture would have us debase ourselves and become more and more entangled in materialism so that the path to the spiritual world is blocked. The demonic wish to make this planet a closed system where it cannot function for the purpose it was intended. The material world was created to give man the opportunity to purify himself of his material consciousness, for the aim of life is to go back home, back to God. The demonic cannot go back home until they rid themselves of their demonic mentality, and so they wish to make it impossible for anyone else to return home. This is the ultimate goal of psychological warfare, to entangle man in materialism so that he cannot return home back to the Supreme Lord. Mind control in America. Break it.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Forbidden History Live, the series on Ask Dezert-Owl and the Original Thought Transliteration Project. Looks like we made it, take two, and we have the same glitch every time another audio comes up. There's this bump in the road, and so I don't know what that is, and then just trying to work it out on her end. That was not the problem, though. Her computer crashed. And so she had to reboot. And so anyway, we're here. We're going to give it our best shot. And good to have you. I'm your host, Dezert-Owl, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time. It seems that we're getting some real recognition out there and some growth. And that's great, because this is a message that's for everybody. Nobody likes being lied to, I guess, unless you're a Democrat or Democrat. I guess, and then you like being lied to, but otherwise, and that's tongue in cheek, of course, and I'm not into the political theater, but you know, it don't matter who they bring in. This is what nobody gets. It doesn't matter who you pick, okay? It's about pedigree, okay? You know what I mean? Pedigree, okay? So they're of another nature, and it's not like you and me, and they are pulling the wool over everybody's eye. And sure, we'd like everything to get rosy again, but it just ain't gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to be proven wrong, certainly, but it's not going to happen. So I've got a lineup today that we're going to bring on, and I apologize. Last couple of days, stuff keeps happening, and one of them was a toothache, and just one of us under the weather here and there, and other things get in the way. So we're doing it in spite of the hiccup, and so we're going to do a read from Gaskell, and that's if I can do this, because I'm still trying to get to a regular rhythm. And it's rough when you get over the hurdle near 70 years old. So, hang in there with me, all right? So Gaskell, we got a nice definition from there. And then from there, we're going to go do the Gospel of Thomas, but it's correctly called the star message of the atom. Okay, so that's the sun. And it's the star message. Star message is corrupted into evangelion, then gospel, but it's the star message of the solar of the sun. And that makes sense, because the sun is the one that is projecting life. And therefore, and we get into a lot of the metaphysics while we do our program here, and we have a lot of it on the back that we've already done. And then we're going to do original thought fragments restored. So there'll be two back-to-back showing. After we do words, of course, I didn't put that in there on a card. I should have. But we're going to do words and define the word elect, since they had an election. We'll give you the real word, where it comes from. And then, yeah, that's the forgotten words was supposed to be up after Gaskell. I got it out of order here. But before we get into all that, I've got, we're trying to prepare a slide presentation for proving out, again, within one consolidated uh, um, slide presentation, the fact that King George III is really, George Washington, or vice versa. King George Washington is actually a Jesuit King George III for the banking Rothschild establishment for the Vatican. And so we're going to do that first. Okay, so why don't I think we got everything covered then. Later on in the program, if you want to call in, we're not using the regular phone at the moment. We still need to test that. And we're just using Skype. If you're on Skype or get on Skype, then you can call in at 740-936-7720. And that's at any time, but not when I'm doing the slide presentation. Hold back on that. I just want to give a little taste of what we're doing. And I know a lot of people probably haven't gone to the Odyssey channel to look at the 3-part presentation, so we're going to pull it out of the 3-part presentation so you can just see that specific presentation, and we've not done that. And Ninja, I just got a black screen. Okay, you're pulling up we don't use the phone number, and okay. We don't need to do that. The numbers that we don't use the phone number, so don't do that. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's been a long journey, ladies and gentlemen. And the good news is our journey is almost over on this planet, because some people have made sure that that's the way it's going to be. Okay, they're going underground, and unless you're going to be a good slave, you're not invited. And unless you're probably under 15 years old, you're not invited. You know, they got a rail car for you and a chopping block. So anyway, okay. So with that, let's go to our. I got to do a screen share and an audio share at the same time. So let me get that going here. Want somebody Skype me here or what? Oh, Damon. Uh, okay, hold on. I may have a call here. Damon, let me try calling him. Okay, let's see what happens here. Hope we don't lose the program. But we're going Skype to Skype, so it should be okay. Wanted to touch base. Damien has been probing me and asking a lot of questions in his own discovery of his spiritual tradition as somebody of the way, also known as the Christianity. So, Damien, you're on your way to work, it sounds like, if I'm right, huh?
Yeah, that's right, Desert. How you going?
Well, we're doing well. We had an upset getting started here, but we're doing it. You were just going to touch base in casual, or were you going to hit me up? I don't think you plan on being on the program, but you are.
All good. No, I was just going to ask you a couple of questions. That's all.
Well, that's good. Is that it's pertaining to our scriptures?
Maybe a little bit off subject, but you might be able to. I'm sure you'll be able to pull it back into scripture.
Yeah, and real quick, let me get an audio check. Ninja, are we coming in? Okay. Ninja.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, good deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Say hi to Damien out there in the west.
G'day out there in the west. From
out
the
west.
east.
Hey, Ninja.
Or is it down west? All right. So what's on your mind there, Damien?
Hey, so you know how there's a lot of I'm just using the term New Age, where they've got like they speak about chakras and Kundalini and all that. Is there any truth behind that, or is there truth behind that and they've just twisted it, or what's the go with all that?
Right. Well, they're deriving that knowledge from, very ancient traditions that come out of India. And so to say that we have chakras and I can't really comment on Kundalini without looking it up and knowing more clearly what I'm talking about. But there is relevant truth in those things. But that knowledge is not required in Yeshua because it's a lot simpler, right? It's about just simply hearing the scripture. We as a people who follow Yeshua would meditate, and so what they talk about happens with the Kundalini or with the chakras, where you're going up into the higher levels of the spine and all that. Like I say, it's very likely relevant truth, but it's not required knowledge or to the required focus in our spiritual walk, because all that is taken care of in the faith or the victory of light that we have in Yeshua. In other words, it's when they're talking about going up the spine, with the energy and not having the sexual relation and all that's getting closer to the mind, And so it's the energy working its way up to the mind. And so it's not doctrine that we use in the pure tradition, but it's like I say, it's relevant truth because there is truth in it. But people are not following Yeshua, so it doesn't do them very, very good because they still have to be born a second time or born again, and they don't teach that part of it. To die
Okay.
to this world, you got to die so that you can live.
That makes sense. So it's actually by following Yeshua and walking in the way of truth, you automatically, that happens without having to go down that path. Because if you start going down that path, I've just heard stories of people going down that path, and there's some, stuff coming out that kind of doesn't really sound scriptural at all. So,
right. But some people like to mix. They do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they got nothing but gibberish. They can't explain the metaphysics behind the, anything other than they're just parroting what other traditions are saying. But the beauty with Yeshua is simple. Like in the Old Covenant, they were caught up in all these rituals. Don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. And it was because they couldn't receive the truth. And the truth is that we put on the mind of Yeshua, and that everything we do is generated to be pleasing before the great Father of light. That's it. And we follow him, and he leads and guides us into all truth, and the truth is what sets us free. Not just meditating and working on the Kundalini or building your chakras. That's the wrong focus, because it's leaving out the most important elements, which are the breathed truth of Yeshua in his own Eshavors or words about loving your neighbor, about doing good to those who hurt you, forgiving everyone and all for everything. So those things are more important than talking about chakras for Kundalini, right?
Yeah. So really, it's kind of there's a bit of truth there, but then you're really getting sidetracked when you can get the complete truth if you just follow Yeshua. So really, if you stay on the path of the way, you all that other new agey stuff, the true side of it, you already like it's already happening anyway on the journey. So really going down that way is just, you're just consuming a lot of time and energy focusing on something that is
not necessary. It's just there's no need to go into anything like that. It's just like like a lot of Christians, they've been prejudiced against people who do yoga, and yoga's not evil. Yoga is one of the best exercises in the world, and so it brings people back to health. But because of prejudice, in other words, people think that you can't have nothing to do with anything like that. I mean, even animals stretch. Cats and dogs stretch, and so because they use the ancient sound Om. Well, Om is a part of our original tradition of our ancient past. The Om, the sound. That's the first sound. Oh, but we don't. And I use it in the translations because it's a part of it, just like it's a part of the word atom. And so you got the AT, which is the alphabet, and then you got the OM, which is the sound. You see, and I never saw it this way before until we're talking right now. I never saw that component. The AT is the alphabet, and then the OM is the sound, which follows the alphabet, right there. And so that's relevant truth. But to get caught up, in other words, it's okay to do yoga, but if I don't even know that there's a real spiritual philosophy behind yoga, because all I ever remember hearing is saying Om or breathing deep and things like that, and that's just an exercise. So I don't remember any spiritual teaching behind yoga. It'd be like Kung Fu. I did Kung Fu for a while, Chuan Fa Kung Fu, and also Tai Chi Chuan, and it was just for bodily exercise. That's all. I didn't get corrupted by the devil or something because I did something like that. It was good exercise,
that makes sense. So really, when you're doing yoga, you're not worshiping other gods or anything. You're just really stretching in different ways, in ways that you don't normally do. So, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's good. Well, that answers my question, Desert. I don't need to. I just need to stick on the path of following Yeshua. I don't need to go into looking into that new agey stuff about unlocking chakras and stuff like that to get to higher levels or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, it's the wrong path. It's a part. Yeah, like I said, it's a part of the mystery of the physiology. It's part of the mystery, but it's not. We don't. Well, with our limited time, we just want to focus on what Yeshua said because that's most important. What he said is relevant and keeps us on track. You know.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Yeah. Thanks for answering my question, Desert. That was real good, and thanks for the yoga part as well. Hey, I've got to shoot off because I'm about to pull up at work. But thanks for the call, and have a good night.
Hey, thank you for calling, brother. I guess she heard you.
See ya.
She may be okay. And what was I going to say? Well, now you know how to catch us. Okay, when we're on the broadcast, call in anytime. We're trying to do it Tuesday through Friday on 7 p.m. Eastern time, and that's 7 a.m. your time there in Western Australia. So feel free to call anytime you want to hit us up. All right, Damien?
Oh, awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Otherwise, call me on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, no, all good. Thanks for that. Cool. All right, see you, Desert.
See you later, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. Shalom. See ya.
All right. Let's see if I can back out of here now. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I want to go back to the other call. Let's see here. Boom. Okay, resume. There. Hello? Ninja. I hear you now. Yeah, it was slow. It was slow to react. Okay, good. That was great to hear from Damien.
Yeah.
And was that your first time touching base with Damien out there?
No, we've been on a group call before.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So that was
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Big family, like five kids. So he's really got a lot of concerns on his mind. Okay, so let's go to the share. What? Yeah.
Can I just quickly add something to that topic? Yeah, I just want to say it was a really good. That was a really good conversation. Because there's a lot of people in the world that think they're on the right path doing that, and I agree. It's doing the complete opposite. It's creating more separation and making people think that they don't need Yeshua. They are Yeshua in a way. And I went down that path. I went through all the new agey stuff, and everything that I did and tried always ended up going pear-shaped. Everything went wrong. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, things will go wrong because Yeshua is not in the equation. So I just wanted to say that. So good phone call. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Sister Ninja. Okay, very good. Let's now we're going to go to the audio that I've set up. So I'm going to do screen share and audio share. You don't want to forget that part. And it's going to be just a little. I'm going to review. I haven't seen the final splicing that Ninja just did on this particular segment. We got more segments we're going to add, but I just want to review it here on the program. That way you can see also what we're doing with exposing the fact that they've lied to us about everything, and that includes George Washington actually being a Jesuit front with the Freemasons, and and they're going by the Sons of Liberty, and they're the ones who set up the British. These were British agents, and they set up the revolution so that they could have a platform to pretend freedom, while in reality they are just running another slave operation, deceiving everybody with her false flags and all of the everything that's false. So let's see, where do I want to go here? Okay, I'm going to minimize that. And where are we? Okay, that's XY. Here we go. Opening it up. All right. Here we go. All right. All right, I'm going to pause this. I just want to show you. Okay, so what I got George Washington up now. You got anything? And I just want to show you real quick a preview from the next program. Okay. Right now, I'm looking at all right, is okay. But what I'm telling you is I can see the image of the lake and the mountains and the stars. So I've got image. All right. All right. All right. All right. So okay, open it up and play. Okay, here we go. You want to mute out, I guess, and I'll mute out because we got audio, and then I'll jump in when it goes silent. Here we go. And I just want to show you real quick a preview from the next program. Okay, and so here we see. I'm trying to figure out what order I want to go in here. King George, yeah. Okay, we'll go here first. So with this particular graphic, we've got it's a little slow on the first ramp up. Okay, so we've got King George, and he's got the red sash on this time for the blood that's spilled of mankind. All men wearing in black, men in black, with the sun throne behind King George III and the G for gold, but it really stands for George because he's the one sitting on the throne and creating the third political state, the most worshipful monster, most worshipful master. Okay, and so that's that one, and then we'll go to Mount Vernon. Let's go to Mount Vernon, and let's see here. Go here first. I don't know where to go. There's all such profound imagery, and then we've got Mount Vernon. Come on, are you kidding me? Mount Vernon, and we got the crown of King George. We got the dove, the symbol of the obelisk, right? That's what dove means. Column. Dove means column. It's column, and that means column and dove. That's because the dove sat up at the top of the column. And then we got the three city-states, and then we got the Vatican red shield, and then we've got Vernon, which is correctly Vorn. I should have had the N after the R, a double N there. Vorn noon, meaning born at high noon, meaning this creation is a sun creation, the center or the apex, the highest point of the three political states that are to dominate the world. They waited a long time to get there. And that fits with the fact that when they use the word Samson, Samson, with this, well, the word, they use the code word Simpsons with the cartoons where they predict how they're going to play every game on us. And they're called, but the Simpsons is a cover for the word Samson, and Samson literally means son of the sun. You see, so that's where the Vornoon, born at high noon, comes from. Vornoon, sons of the sun, while they're really sons of the moon, the lunar occultists in the darkness, but they're pretending the other to be in the light. And you can see signed at the bottom, George Washington, presented by yours truly, A. Micah Hill, Desert Owl. And in The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we find in Mount Vernon? Let's look a little further and see what we find in Mount Vernon. And we got, oh, the Orange Room. Remember we talked about that at the beginning, where Poppy Bush had the orange behind him. Well, look at this. The orange. Yeah, and by the way, the orange, I don't have the note here, represents the 33rd degree, which then goes back to Hinduism and India, because that's the highest degree, and it's all being run by Hinduism and Brahmanism behind the scenes. Orange Room, and is it about George Washington? Well, no, it's the Orange Room, and we see King George at Mount Vernon in the middle picture here. What's going on? George Washington's home, illustrating King George in a room of orange, meaning 33 degree, meaning the unseen hand of India, even orange furniture, orange chairs, orange globe. What's going on? Presentation by yours truly again, okay? So get the picture, ladies and gentlemen. We've been fooled, we've been stooled, we've been educated, right? They gave us what they didn't want us to know right out the gate, but because what they are implying with this sun symbol is that George Washington is a sun god, Masonic sun god, also known as a demigod. He's a demigod, part earthling and part God, you see. And that's what they're doing. That's why you can know he's a Jesuit. You can know he's a king. They wanted him to feel bad and important. Hey, that's your colony over there, George. Go get it, and keep it under the Vatican crown and Rothschild shield. Okay, continuing. George Washington, King George III. What they didn't want you to know, but we told you right here. Now you're not going to miss it anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because pictures tell the story, and a picture is worth 1,000 words, even though it is still true that 1,000 words words will give you 1,000 pictures, you know. So, and that's a close clip, and we're going to have to fix those rough edges and just somehow on the audio. But anyway, so we're moving into now the silent part of it, and I'll just comment as needed. Here we go. When is a king not a king? When he is owned and controlled, as is Britain, by the Rothschilds, protectors and defenders of the Vatican Trust. King George III, the actor for the Rothschild, agent, coronation portrait, 1762. Wearing the gold, leopard skin, spotted. Looks like George Washington and me. And now the purple sash. The purple sash means that he's hidden royalty. He's royalty, but he's hidden. He's not wearing the blue sash, which is overt. But the purple means that he's secretly. That's why the unseen hand is in his chest, in his coat, because he's working for the unseen hand at the top. King George as a demigod, up in the top of the rotunda, in the Capitol, D.C., and the shield of Rothschild, the red shield, the red cape means capious and the power to take, or that which takes. That's what the attorneys do. And and then we have once again down in the basement of the Capitol, Baphomet, okay, a demigod. It all fits, ladies and gentlemen. These statues, we've been seeing them for years, and nobody's been given the illustration of what they really imply. I think we got a good graph coming up next. Right after this one. It's another good one. Okay, there's that the serpent going up the Kundalini right there. So, and the chakra. So, yeah, the male, female. All right. So the old on the right, the old wisdom, religion, science, philosophy, religion. Everything was tied into one. Everything was one. Then they split it apart, compartmentalized it, and so nobody could ever figure anything out. Baphomet structure. All roads lead to India. The Vedas, the most ancient scriptures. In the middle, we've got the secret doctrine. In the heart, at the core, we got the secret doctrine. I got to back it up. Okay. Might as well elaborate on this a little bit. Come on, don't you? Thank you. Okay, so 1911. So there's your 911 on the center right, on the center left, in the middle. Indo-American Book Company. Look at that. This was New India. America was called New India prior to their new idea of creating a pretend phony free state. After they worked things out, how they were going to do it. Mystic Mason, the Inner Baphomet. Oh, that looks warm and fuzzy. And then notice where they got the Christianity in Christ, right where the bowel movement would occur on the goat, right? Right down there in the cistern. So Christianity or of Constantine, well, that was military. That was not passive. The sects of Christendom, there should be no sects, but that's what they created at the bottom. All the different variable sects within Masonry over everything, Jesuits over everything, under that the stupid Christians, the people who don't know nothing, and just go for 45 minutes on Sunday and feel good about themselves and go do whatever they want the rest of the week. But yeah, it's all right there, ladies and gentlemen, all right there in our face. The religion of Muhammad on the right and modern Freemasonry on the left, because they created Islam, by the way, in order to destroy all of Christianity. The kings of England, ever since King James I, the Scottish Rite founder, the English king as the head, has always been the most worshipful Grand Master of all international Freemasonry, as was King, aka Prince Philip. Why didn't they call him king? He's married to the queen. And it's because the queen was symbolic. It's the woman, their mother, Lucifer. The blue sashes are worn by the royal family, symbolizing the blue blood of an Aryan culture. Men who wear the black dress are Luciferian Jesuit priests. You should have had the word Jesuit in here if you want to take note of that, Ninja. It helps out. The blue sash, look at them. I mean, that's such an ominous picture, huh? Let's just go back one more. Come on. It's just with all the darkness in there, the dark wall, and his knickers, wearing a dress, men who wear dresses, and the blue sash, that's the royal blue blood, that's the royalty, which is on, and you when you look at all the other pictures, you see the pattern. You can't miss it, but it's got to be pointed out to you. Even the cherry sitting on is blue, so it represents the sky, as they are touted also as sky gods and sun gods of the air. But today they twisted that into being, from an Aryan alien. The signs and the symbols declare who it is who rules the world. Who it is who rules the world. Standing on the royal regarding the next graphic, standing on the royal red carpet, wearing black, the colors of the Jesuit Jew priests. The flag is a Jesuit slavery flag. Of the colors are of the elite. The children in the front are their prey in the Babylon Talmudic tradition. They prey on little ones, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and there's quite a few graphics of different sorts, all showing the laying of the cornerstone of the Capitol, and that's part of what they're doing here, laying the cornerstone of the Capitol. Notice the star right in the middle. You see, this was the 13 stars going around, representing supposedly the 13 colonies, but it really represents the 13 families of the Illuminati. But at the center, then we've got King George III, the center star, the center stage. So all of these are British agents, because all international Freemasons are under the authority of the King of England, and the King of England is under the authority of the Rothschild. And Rothschild are under the Jesuits and the Vatican. Okay. And the treasure, I'll just let you read this yourself. Okay, I'm going to reduce my comments so I can save my voice here. Layer of onions, ladies and gentlemen, layered. 3 city-states running the world. I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the money supply. And so he's using the word empire. And so notice what we have here in America. We have the Empire State, which is New York, and then the Empire State Building. So they're telling us again with that term empire, okay, not freedom, empire, rule by decree. Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, getting poked in the chest by Evelyn de Rothschild. You listen to me, you little twerp, King Chuck. I'm the one giving all the orders here. Yes, sir. Evelyn, do you want me to go clean toilets or something? Yeah, go clean toilets now, and we'll talk to you later on about how you're going to throw dirt at other people, okay? At the world, for us. Yeah. Waging war on mankind. The Jewish Illuminati, or the Nazis, also known as International Freemasons and Jesuits, claim to have founded America on May 1st, 1776, the same day that they founded international communism at Red Square in Moscow. It is the left hand, right hand, the hidden hand. Okay, so that's when their New Deal started, May 1st, 1776. International communism, Illuminati, and discovery of America, East and West, one bird, one crown, and they got them fighting with each other. Oh, Russia's the boogeyman. Russia this, Russia that. Cold War. All illusion. They say that George Washington had wooden teeth. Cyber code for Woden teeth. Woden or Odin or Wotan means the supreme god in ancient Aryan culture, and teeth is the symbol for power. So George had the teeth, that is the power of the supreme god as a demigod, being the most worshipful master of the Scottish Rite International Freemasonry, King George III. Okay, cybercode George. Let's pause that, I guess. So George here is the G in the Deutsch, the G, and it means the keys, and the or is the true ray. There's also more meaning to that, but escaping me right now. The power of sun and moon. Notice he got one gold key, one silver key. Sun and moon. It's always about sun and moon in the classic symbolism, and it was always about getting the or else. The argyle on the mason's kilts, that is those stripes going horizontal, vertical. These argyle are the masons on the mason's kilts are all the crossroads on the map. All roads are their roads, and all roads lead to Rome. But of course, as I prove out, all roads actually lead to India. And you saw that with the chameleon, Kamala, right? Brahmin. She admitted was on Tucker Carlson with this friend of hers, and she had told everything, and that she was a Brahmin also. Circle with the cross means everywhere. And you see the blood is flowing, the invisible blood, the purple coming out of the circle. It's a river of, it represents the river of light, but they're mocking the pure tradition, making it a river of blood. Let me back up on that one. Yeah. Cut it out. Come on. All right. Oh gosh, I hate this PowerPoint. All right. So the river of blood, I can't even use my pointer. That'll pop up. But you see how out of the bottom it's poured like a sash. It's like but it's representing obviously the blood, the secret blood that's flowing out, and it would, if it were a true symbol and not an occultic symbol, it would represent the river of light flowing down into the four directions. The cross represents the four directions. The circle represents the sun. That's the classic third letter of the alphabet that they stole from us, called the Zorro, that circle with the cross in it, and out is flowing the plasma. But here they're letting the blood flow. Amazing times they had back then. It's always been a tough world, and it's just as tough in different ways today. The power. So the keys, holding those keys mean they've got the secret knowledge, and it's power to have the secret knowledge. The number 8 in the end of the key, it's a number 8. You can see the 8. It means return. When you come back, you go in, right? History is a set of lies that has been previously agreed upon. Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, he was an insider. They got rid of Louis and Marie Antoinette and cut off their heads, and then we get another emperor. Like they didn't want an emperor, but then they get one anyway, right? We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is everything they believe is false. Everything. You get it? That's what I'm proving out right now. That they lied to us about George Washington as well as William Casey, former CIA director, first staff meeting, 1981. Everything is a lie. True reality cannot be taught. It can only be realized, ladies and gentlemen. Realized, realize, realize, realize. Okay? You need me to say that again? Realize, realize, realize. Yeah. If you haven't investigated anything, then you can't know anything, because you have been lied to all of your life about everything. Everything. I've got so many presentations I've done. So turn off the mainstream programming and be deprogrammed, because it's never too late, ladies and gentlemen, to get on page with reality and the truth. Do it for your family. I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Israel, but they are not Israel, for they are the temple of the serpent. That's Revelation 2:9. But they switched out the word Israel and put in the word Jew, and that's why people don't ever get it. But the people calling themselves Israel today are not Israel. They are Ashkenazi, Khazar, Assyrian, Babylonian, and I didn't finish. And they changed our words. Jew is not a Judean, okay? And Judean is still a corruption with the D and the U. It's correctly 2 O's, Yoothan, Yoothan. The word Jew did not exist prior to the 1700s. Go figure. They put it in our scriptures. They would have made Pharaoh and Moses a Jew if they could have got away with it. The poor victims, those Jews. Everybody's picking on them. The people will die to defend the lie for all of the actors on the stage, ladies and gentlemen. They will. They'll go to war. They'll fight the war, the phony wars for them. It's a theater. The first casualty of war is the truth, and the first thing that you should put into your body must be the truth. They faked the death of Jesuit King George III. Right about the time King George showed up again in England. They put him away for a while. They said, the guy's got some problems. And then when, the Revolutionary War is over, guess what? Then King George comes out of the hospital, and he's better now. Oh, how wonderful. The banker's shield found on George Washington's grave. Banking agent proof. He's got the banking shield with a phoenix on top, rising from the ashes. King George III, George Washington, was the first official Jesuit president of the United States. That's Alberto Rivera, an ex-Jesuit priest who gave his life to tell the truth. And what I just noticed now for the first time is the drapery that's right here. You see, it's like it would be, it should cover. It's there by implication to cover the shield, so you wouldn't see the shield. But now that he's this is a phony grave, just a tomb with nothing in it. They're lowering the curtain and revealing the fact that he is the banking agent. Okay, the banking agent of the Illuminati, of the communists. They're Illuminati, communists, Jews, bankers, communists. Okay, get it? And that's their shield, the red shield, and that's the one. Yeah, we on that 3-part presentation called on Odyssey. If you go to um, Forbidden History Archive, you'll see part 1, 2, and 3. The serpent cult symbolism of the world communist rulers. Top line, second line. Those 2 lines, I have that, and so we show all of these symbols, ladies and make ladies and gentlemen, and make the connections for you. Okay, so all you got to do is sit back, listen, and eat some popcorn and blow your mind, because they're shouting at us, but we can't interpret the symbol because we've never been initiated into that form of communication. Okay, it's called heraldry. That's basically what I'm doing, is I'm presenting the heraldry of of their colors and their symbols. Here we go, continuing. Can you put the pieces of the puzzle together in your red pill, ladies and gentlemen? Like here, the blue sashes are worn. The blue sashes are worn by the royal families, symbolizing the blue blood of an Aryan culture. Men who wear black dresses are the Jesuit Luciferian priests. I mean, come on, does this guy look like an American? Black dresses. In our idea of it, he's got the and there's that power of the sun again with that shield, with the compass and the square right there. It's a solar image because it's the upper and the lower coming together. And but he's dressed in black. He's got knickers on, and it's even a dark image. It's so ominous. But yeah, we weren't there, right? We weren't there to witness anything, and they didn't have the media like we do today. They didn't have photographs, so they can create any image they want. Get rid of the other ones they don't need. That's why they burn the libraries down very, very often. Okay, so the United States of America Corporation, the Treasury shield reads from top up. I just did that one, the key to offset balance. The Jewish fiat currency, King George III. He is number 1. They made him into a sun god, and we got a whole lot in the next presentation on King George being a George Washington. We'll give you all the substance. Comes right out of Mount Vernon. Can't ask for a better witness. They're trying to tell us, but we don't get it. Okay, so in gold we trust. That's what in God we trust. The secret vowel, the vowel L, what they took to the vow to the L, which is the chevron, but also it's the obelisk. They took a vow, and that's the gold. We know that they took it all. They stole it, right? Oh, I just found out I can roll that wheel. That's what's going on. I don't have to click it. You liking that one, Ninja? I just figured something out here. The wheel will turn it. Masonic banking seal, left seal, the sun eye, the 2 pyramids. Everybody's in the lower pyramid. That upper pyramid is reserved for that, unseen hand group. Okay, all the Masons and all, unless you're 32 or 33 degree, you're in that lower pyramid. You're just part of the building blocks. You're not going into the inner circle. You may not go to the underground base. You may have to be eating flesh of your friends and family once all the food is gone. Okay, so right seal, Jewish Luciferian moon, olive branch, and arrows make peace with war. Come on. All right, Masonic means mother sons of darkness. FM, there it is. This is a Christian church. I just want to back up on that for a minute here. And in here, the symbol for the moon, you see, it creates a Star of David also. It's a Hindu star. It's not David's star. It comes from India, just like the swastika, as well as a symbol of peace. This is a symbol of creation, the 6 points. Okay, just want to add that. Family, once all the food is gone. Okay, so right seal, Jewish Luciferian moon, olive branch, and arrows make peace with war. Come on. All right, Masonic means mother sons of darkness. FM, there it is. This is a Christian church, right? And so Ninjas give me a thumbs up there. Okay, great. And the federal banking shield, right there in the Christian church. Jesuits in a Christian church. Are you kidding me?
uniforms, but they wrap themselves in the American flag. They preach the doctrine of racial and class hatred.
Okay, I want to qualify this. Let me back it up. Okay, come on. Okay, so February 20, 1939. I hear you. Okay, February 20th, 1939, Madison Square Garden, that's in New York. Notice the square, that's the Masonic Square. And you basically get Mason if you remove the death symbol. You get Mason out of there. The Mason Square Garden, it's a Masonic Square, so go figure, there's a code. Masonic Square and Compass Garden. And what you're going to see, in other words, I'll qualify it first, okay? Because basically, these are the facts. All of the royal families, including the banking families, including the Jesuit families and the priesthood families, all at one point came out of Venice, the city built on water. And that's when they were going to set up the new arrangement in Europe. And they were going to draw lines in the sand and create Portugal or Spain or France or Prussia or Russia or all the different England. They're going to then create the continent of Aryanism, but they're going to change through the priesthood, because the priesthood is the secret agency that's in every one of their houses, every one of their nations, running everything, and therefore modifying their language and modifying their culture and making them look like foreigners when we were never foreigners, one Aryan to another Aryan, so the point is this, that whether they're royals, like Queen George III just pointed out, he was a Jesuit Jew, and he was a Jew by being in the royal family, just like King James was a Jew. They didn't use the word Jew back then. They used the word James as a cover, and because his real name, King James, was King Jacob in Scotland, and they changed his name to James when he went to England, but he's King Jacob, and Jacob means seat of light, and so you can't have a more powerful name than seat of light. And so whether the royal families, all the royal families of Europe, all of the banking heads of Europe, and all of the Jesuits and priesthoods of Europe and the world, well, I won't say the world, but we'll limit it to Europe right here, are basically all of them are in the same family. They just have different jobs. And they're all Ashkenazi, Khazar Aryan Jews, who they call themselves Jews today, but they go back to ancient Assyria and Babylon. They are Assyrian by origin and Babylonian by origin. They follow the Babylonian Talmud. Go figure. Okay? Babylonian Talmud. So when you see them putting George Washington's image on the stage, what you're going to see next. Okay? In other words, this idea of Nazi, the Jews are the Ashkenazis. They are the Nazis, you see? And so they don't just control both sides, they create both sides. So they create the military, the German army in World War I saw it on a documentary. It said there were 1 million German soldiers in the army in World War I, and they were all Jews. Well, what do you think happened to them in World War II? Do you think suddenly they all went to the Bahamas or some other part of the world, or do you think maybe they were also then the same people, now some of them becoming officers within the Second World War, which was, by the way, mentioned in International Freemasonry, Albert Pike's book from 1888 approximate, that he said there would be in the future, there would be 3 world wars, and that the last world war would be used to destroy Christianity, and they would use Islam to implement that as well. And so here it is, the blueprint, right? So realize that they're all Nazis, whether they want to claim to be the victim or whether they're the German army, because the German Empire was officially formed in 1871, and the German Empire was a Jewish state, just like and where did they go? They moved to what they call Israel today. The German state moved over. German means seed of the moon. It's just another term for seed of the moon, mother sons of darkness. And so they then had to, and after World War II, they destroyed all of Germany. They bombed it to the ground, and then they starved out near 10 million in 24 different locations on the Rhine River. 10 million Germans, because they had to keep this a secret. They, in order to keep perpetuate the lies of that Jews were victims of World War II and not perpetrators, they had to kill a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what they did. So anyway, now I've qualified it. So you'll see that we got Nazis, and who are they promoting? George Washington, the secret image of King George III, all of them Ashkenazi Jews. Here we go.
They wrapped themselves in the American flag. They preached the doctrine of...
Oh, and he said the American flag, right? And the Assyrian flag, ladies and gentlemen, is red, white, and blue. The Assyrian flag, the federal banking shield, right there in Christian Church, Jesuits.
They wrapped themselves in the American flag. They preached the doctrine of racial and class hatred. For Hitler had said America could be conquered from within and fall as an overripe plum to the Nazi master race.
See George Washington in the background right there. That's good old George.
Jewish Moscow direct examination.
We let them speak. When occasionally a lone outraged dissenter wanted to air his opposition, we provided police to preserve order.
Yeah, and there you go on that. I have just one more little piece to add to this that will help bring into perspective. I'll just close that out now, and I will minimize that, and where did it go? Huh. Oh, there it is. Okay. I cleaned off my desktop, and it's so clean I can't find anything now. How about that? Are you saying something, Ninja? I'm sorry. No, I found it. Okay, so let's give one more piece of evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I got two. Okay, so the USA Black's Law Dictionary of the Legal System in America, okay, in the back is the royal line of the kings of England, the Norman Franks who took over from the Anglo-Saxon, okay, at 1066. So in the back of Black's Law Dictionary, starting at 1066, we find the royal elite listed, just like, if we listed the presidents right here in America, but they have the royal families listed one after the other from 1066, starting with when they took over England for the New Deal back then. And so therefore, again, pointing out how can you be a little pregnant? I mean, if we gained freedom, legitimate freedom from England, then what are we doing under the auspices of the legal system of King George III in England? King George III is George Washington. Okay, so in other words, BAR, which is an abbreviation for the British Accredited Regency, that is the American legal system here in America. It is Ashkenazi, it is Jewish, ladies and gentlemen. It is admiralty, and they run as a piracy on the high seas. All their terms in the legal system deal with on the water. It's all there, okay? And so as you see, the whole system is British. What are we doing? Why don't we have an independent common law? Because they took away common law and gave us admiralty, military protocols, declared us the enemy in 1933, declared the people here in America the enemy in 1933 publicly through HJR 192, thanks to the discovery by Dr. Eugene Schroeder of the agricultural movement last century, who I was a friend of and heard many of his presentations, had his book, and it's all gone now. All those discoveries nobody talks about, right? And so if that isn't enough to prove to you that we're under the British system, that we've always been a vassal of Britain, and as I say, over and over, there is no freedom. There is only slave management. That what are the odds that, as we just had the election November 5th, right? November 5th in England was the gunpowder plot with Guy Fawkes, right? Fox is a code for 666, by the way, and the regular numeral atrium and gematria. And so November 5th is our election day, and November 5th is the day of the gunpowder plot. So the day when shenanigans are taking place over here as well. As we know, this whole system is rigged, and that, in fact, that it's been proven out by other researchers that whatever candidate that's running for office as president here in America, if there, as has been pointed out, the majority of them are royal family line. And if there are two of them in the race that are both in the line of the royal families, the one that has the bluest blood, the closest connection to the king, then is elected, and the presidency. It happens that way over and over, and so that's well established. Go research it. But the point about the date of November 5th, what are the odds that we have November 5th, the gunpowder plot, and our day of voting in America here, right? And then also at the same time in July 4th, which is supposed to be our day of independence, is also the election day in England for the prime minister. Are you kidding me? You see how they put it right in our face, that we could never figure it out, basically. So they boldly throw it out there. But the 4th is a Jew lie. It's a lie of the Jews, because they claimed America May 1st, 1776, and it fixed the maxim of law that which is first is superior. So it's superior by law and therefore authority. Okay, so there's your preliminary presentation, as we're going to finish the whole other sequence on part 2 and part 3 that I've got to separate. Okay, but we're gonna I guess I'll stay on the screen share. Wait a minute, no, I better not, because I got to get that audio off. Stop sharing. Okay, and we're gonna now go to give me the longest possible break, Ninja, with a good long one. Okay, and about 7 minutes or so, ladies and gentlemen. Then when we get back, we'll bring you on with a little bit more of what they didn't want you to know, that we tell right here, because somebody's got to do it. Okay, and I'm glad you're tuned in. Hope you are telling your friends about the broadcast. And yeah, that was a mouthful. Oh, there's Lynn. Hey, Lynn, good to have you. New graphic also. They taught us spelling. Yeah, they put us under the spell in school there, Lynn. And hope your new house is working out in Kentucky. I think you said you were getting a new place. So hope everything's going well with you. And good to have you, Bonita Miller, up there, and anyone else coming in that I missed. Welcome to the broadcast. And we'll be right back with a little more of the same, because somebody's got to do it. Tennessee. All right.